Right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today, and hopefully over the next few days, weeks, months, we're going to be talking FPL. Now, this summer in particular, I've really got into the FPL and drafting squad after squad after squad. I thought I'd do a little bit of content. I have got my own league down in the description, so go down, click the link, and that automatically puts you over into the free league. Also, you patrons, we're going to have our own little head-to-head league as well, so stay tuned for that. So what we're going to do this week, we're going to look at the big six, the top six teams. From each team, I'm going to pick out my top 3 picks for each team. I'm also going to do a little wild card, maybe an unfamiliar, unpopular kind of choice, and then the last one being the avoid, and a player in each team I think you should avoid. Now, for some of these teams, players to avoid has been quite difficult, and obviously it's very difficult today because we are starting with Liverpool. Alright guys, let's get into today's video. If you are new across here, I'm Matty, by the way. Make sure you've smashed the subscribe on the channel, muchly appreciated, and like today's video, and let's get into my picks for the FPL for Liverpool. Let's go. Okay, so most of these picks are kind of ones for the full season. However, we are going to take into consideration the start of the league season, and in particular for Liverpool, who I think have got quite a nice start to the season. So if we look at their first 6 games, Fulham away, Palace at home, Man United away, Bournemouth at home, Newcastle at home, and Everton away. A very, very poor Everton as well, even though it is the derby. I can see a lot of you guys having Mo Salah, no doubt, in your team, but having him as captain for those first 6 games. Now, my top pick is obviously Mo Salah. I think sometimes we can get carried away and think about, right, we need to do something a little bit different to win the competition or to win your mini leagues. However, that is definitely not the case. You must have Mo Salah in your team because everyone else is going to have him. Over 56% of people's teams in the FPL for this season. So you need to get him in, and most likely you're going to have him captain most weeks. So there you go. Mo Salah is my number 1 pick for Liverpool. Number 2, we're going to look at Trent Alexander-Arnold. He features a little bit similar to Salah. He features in 54.3% of people's teams. However, I think for him, there's a toss-up between him and Robertson. For me, in my draft, my team, I've gone for Alexander-Arnold. He's a little bit more expensive. He's only 0.5 more, and at the same time, you get the free kicks. I also think because of the right-hand side, I know Liverpool have signed Ramsey, and they can kind of do half a job with maybe Gomez there. Left back with Robertson. And also they've got Tsimikas, who kind of did play a little bit. I think there's more of an option, an opportunity to rotate at left back than right back. And with Trent taking more free kicks and generally being better with the ball, even though Robertson's outstanding, I think there's an argument to be made for having both of them in your team. I would go for Trent as your number 2 pick. You're going to be picking 3 Liverpool players. I think you need to make sure that you have Salah and Trent in your teams. Let me know right down in the comments, have you got both of them in your team? All right, and then the 3rd pick, we'll do something a little bit different. We're going to go, I think you could as an argument for Alison, Robertson, Diaz, but I'm going to go with Darwin Núñez. I think mainly because of the first 6 games that Liverpool have got, and also the fact that Jurgen Klopp doesn't like to rotate as much as what maybe a Manchester City does, maybe what Chelsea does. Factor in that Jota's had a little bit of an injury. I think they're definitely going to start with Núñez at the start of the season. And if he gets the ground running, they're not going to be able to take him out. And with the opening games, the first 6, excluding Man United, fingers crossed, I'm a Man United fan by the way, so fingers crossed he doesn't obviously score during that game, but the other 5 games he can fill his boots. And I think for £9 million, I think a fair few people have not got him in their team to start with, but I can see a shift. I think people are a little bit 50-50 with him and undecided whether he's going to hit the ground running or not, and I think they're going to create chances for him. Yes, he's not the greatest back to goal, etc., but in and around that penalty area, I just think that sometimes that's something that Liverpool have missed. He will score. The amount of goals I think he will score in and around the 6-yard box will be incredible this year. I'm expecting him to score at least 15 in the Premier League, I think, as long as he gets a good run. And as I said, with Liverpool not generally rotating as much as what a City or what Chelsea do, I think he can really fill his boots. Now, at the time of recording, he has only got 15.3% of people owned. I'm going to see that increase. I bet that's increased from the weekend, because obviously he banged forward against RB Leipzig. So I bet it's increased since then. But just someone just to keep an eye, £9 million. Jota is 9 million. Firmino's 8 million, sorry. And the other one is Diaz. That is also 8. But I just thought something a little bit different for the 3rd choice. I think if he scores 15 goals a season, then him at value at 9 million may be better value at Diaz, who may drift in and out the side a little bit more than what you might expect Núñez to. All right, onto my wild card. Now it's quite difficult. This I could have gone maybe Nunes as a wild card, but I want something with a little bit of value, and I'm going to go with Konate. Now he's only £5 million. Matip is £6 million. Now the interesting thing about Konate is that he only played 11 times last season in the Premier League. A lot of Champions League appearances, I think 8, and a lot of FA Cup. Now he played in the Champions League final and he was very, very good. I can just see him overtaking Matip as the main man to go to. Matip at 6, Konate at 5. I think if you're looking for a top sort of like 3 defender, you know, from Chelsea, Man United, Man City, I think he may be an option. And if you want to have a player on the bench, that's a good defender to come on the bench and pick up clean sheets, I think Konate at 5 million is a really good option. Okay, the player to avoid, I'm going to go for is Alison, and I'll tell you for why. The main reason that I'm saying this is not because he's terrible. I think he was the highest scoring goalkeeper last season. However, at 5.5, he's the same as Ederson. Mendy's of £500,000 cheaper, and if you're needing to make cuts somewhere, then I think this is the way for you to go. I think because you're limited to 3 players per team, I think there is better value and better options in having one of the outfield Liverpool players. You know, you've got Trent, you've got Salah, you've got Diaz, you've got Robertson, you've got Nunes. So I think there's probably 5 picks there before you should get Alison. I think the thing with Manchester City is that we're going to speak about when we get onto their video is that obviously there's a bit of a rotation amongst defenders and midfielders. However, Ederson does play every single game. So if you're tossing up between the two and you want one of the sort of like the premium goalkeepers, I think Lloris is in at 5.5 as well, but I wouldn't tend to go with him. I think Ederson is maybe the way forward to go over Alison and then get a Trent in, get a Robertson in, and then maybe a Salah, Nunes, Diaz. There's 5 more picks that I think you should go for before you head to Alison. There's a few in midfield as well. I think the actual Liverpool midfielders, I know Salah and Diaz are classed as midfielders in the game, but I think players such as Thiago, he's owned by 1.8%, 5.5 million. Henderson, Fabinho, all under 1%. Milner under 1%. Carvalho, Elliott, Keita, Jones, Chamberlain, all under 0.5% of people that have owned him. So I would obviously stay away from the midfield and stay away from Alison. Alright guys, that's it for today. Let me know your thoughts. What would be your 5 picks, your 3 first choice picks? Have you got 3 Liverpool players? Let me know. Is there a dark horse in that Liverpool side that I've missed and maybe overlooked? I know there's a thing with Diaz. I think Diaz is going to be premium anyway in terms of points and returns, goal contributions. However, I just thought Nunes is a little bit of a toss-up, 50-50, and I'm going to go on the side. Even though I'm a Man United fan, I'm going to go on the side that he's going to be actually really, really good. And as I said, which Liverpool player would you avoid this season? Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you smash the like on today's video. Tomorrow is Manchester United. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care. See you later.